mis amigos and possible amigas, my name is TavFree16 and welcome to my review of All In. It is day after and it was pretty much everything I think everyone expected it to be. It was just an absolutely incredible show. Let's get into the results. So there were two pre-show matches exclusive to WGN. It was called 0 Hour, I believe the pre-show was called. The first one was the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, the Briscoes versus SoCal Uncensored, who was Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. I expected the Briscoes to go over, I guess just because they were the faces. I maybe didn't expect SoCal Uncensored to be as over as they were, but they were extremely over. They ended up getting the win. Might have been for roll-up, I don't remember, but the crowd went crazy once they won. A good match. It was only about 9 minutes. They didn't get much time to do much, but, you know, just good, solid tag match to start off the wrestling for the night. The second pre-show match was the 15-person over-budget Battle Royale, the winner getting a Ring of Honor title shot versus Jay Lethal later in the night. Everybody actually started the match outside the ring. I was thinking to myself, does anybody know how Battle Royale works? Because they took their sweet-ass time getting in the ring, even though the bell would ring. There's a bunch of... Everybody got their shit on the outside, it seems like. Also, someone dressed up as Chico got chokeslammed for a table by Bully Ray. We'll get to that in a second. So... it was a decently lengthed Battle Royale, about 17 minutes. I think the final two ended up being Colt Cabana and Bully Ray, and Bully ended up throwing Cabana out and thought he had won. However, the person who was dressed up as Chico came from behind and eliminated Bully to win a Battle Royale. He then took the mask off, and it was Flip Gordon, as predicted. So Gordon won the Battle Royale and won a title shot later tonight. We'll get to that when it happens. Up first, in what was a previously unannounced match, I'm pretty sure at least, Matt Cross took on MJF. This is, again, just another short match just to get the crowd pumped up. Cross was the babyface. MJF did some really good heel work. He's not as known as Cross. Cross, I think, was on, he's known for his Son of Havoc gimmick, and was also, I believe, on Tough Enough in 2013. Interesting fun fact there. It was a good back and forth match. Again, not that long. Cross ended up winning with a shooting star press. Just, you know, good match to start up the crowd. Up next, it is Christopher Daniels versus Stephen Amell with Jerry Lynn as the special guest referee. This was one of the best celebrity matches I've ever seen. I'll tell you what, when Amell retires from acting or whatever, if he wants to try to be a full-time pro wrestler, I really think he could do it, because, I mean, he can only get better, man. He really can only get better. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. I will give it to him. He's crazy athletic. I mean, apparently he's like the only one to complete some kind of American Ninja Warrior challenge or something. I don't watch that show, so I don't know much about it. But apparently he did really well on that show. And it was a great match. A good spot where Amell was going to elbow drop Daniels for a table, and Daniels rolled out of the way, and Amell just went right for the table. Daniels ended up winning with the best moonsault ever. And they both showed respect, shook hands after the match. Again, good showing by both men. You can't even really say that Daniels carried him, because Amell definitely held his own. And again, if he wants the future in pro wrestling, he might just have one. Up next, in a fatal four-way, or as they called it, a four-corner survival match, Britt Baker, Chelsea Green, Madison Rayne, and the TNA Knockouts Women's Champion, Tessa Blanchard. This was a great match. I mean, this match was a perfect example of how the whole women's evolution thing is not just a WWE. It's not even close to being just a WWE. There are so many talented women's wrestlers around the world outside of the WWE. Women's wrestling is not just a WWE. You could even make the argument that the WWE is late to the party. I mean, TNA was pushing the women hard back in like 06 or whatever. Their Knockouts division was great. But WWE was doing fucking bikini contests and shit. I mean, anyone who thinks that, oh, the WWE, you know, spurred the whole women's movement and all that is full of shit. They're completely full of shit. Because there are people doing it before WWE, there are people doing it after WWE, and there's people arguably doing it better than them as well. And this is a good example of that. Blanchard was obviously the star of this. I mean, again, she's just been on such a roll. She ended up winning, I think, pinning Baker? No, I think she pinned Green. The finish was weird, because it was a really great match, but it looked like it might have been botched, because it looked like Rayne and Baker both dove in to stop it. It looked like they got there, or they didn't get there, but maybe they were supposed to get there. But they played Blanchard's music right away, and Justin Roberts was the ring announcer, immediately announced her as the winner. So maybe it wasn't botched, maybe that's the way it was supposed to go, and the timing of it was just weird. It doesn't really matter. It was an incredible match. Right person won. That's all that matters. Now, I thought this next match was going on last. I was way off. It is Nick Aldis defending the NWA World Heavyweight Championship against Cody Rhodes. This match was pretty good. There was an interesting spot where Cody went down after a dive on the outside and the ref threw up the X, but I guess it was just a work, because Cody was under the table and then he came out with blood. I'm like, oh, he was blading under the table. Okay, so I guess it's a work. It's just a work for Cody to get color. I hope he wasn't actually hurt. He didn't look like it, but I imagine it was just a work to get color. They both had big entourages as well. I forget all who Aldis had. Daivari was one of them. Oh yeah, Daivari was one of them. During that blading spot, Daivari got in a ring and pushed a ref or whatever, and then DDP went in after him, and DDP hit him with the diamond cutter, and the crowd popped huge for that. Finish actually came. It was the Davey Boy Bret Hart SummerSlam '92 finish, with the roll up. And the crowd, much like that match, the crowd just exploded for Cody. Cody's one of the most underrated character workers of all time. I'll tell you, it's amazing how he can go from, in the span of like a couple of months, to bastard hated heel to over as the sun fucking mega babyface. And he's done it. He's completely done it. He's just, every character, every way he's tried to work his character that he's ever been given to do or given himself, he's just been incredible at it. He's such an incredible character worker. I mean, hell, in WWE, the dashing thing was fantastic, the undashing with the bags, even Stardust. Sure, Stardust was a shitty gimmick, but he made it work, you know? He made it work. So, and again, like I said, well, I think Magnus did do a good job of elevating this belt a bit. Cody is the one to make it global. This was the right decision, and also it was just too perfect. I think this was, I heard from someone, it was like 39 years ago to the day that Dusty Rhodes won his first NWA World Heavyweight Championship. So again, too perfect, probably the moment of the night, and yeah, right decision. Up next, it is Hangman Adam Page versus Joey Janela, accompanied in the ring by Penelope Ford. This match was basically centered around Hangman going crazy and further drifting into madness and trying to kill Janela. There was one spot where Hangman took a bag out of the ring, was about to hit Janela with it or whatever, and Penelope Ford out of nowhere hit him with a fucking stone cold stunner and then got him on a table on the outside, which Janela put him through. It was later revealed that Hangman's talking boots were in the bag, as well as the phone that he used to murder Joey Ryan. I believe that was the finish. They were on top of the ladder in the ring, and Hangman hit him with the phone. And he fell off the top of the ladder, I think, through a table, and Hangman ended up getting the pin. After the match, some walking penises came down. I really wish I was joking about this. This fucking literally, dudes dressed as dicks, they're like druid dicks, came down and stood like the Undertaker's druids, and here comes Joey Ryan, back from the dead. Back from the dead and all that, and then he attacked Hangman and he put his lollipop on his dick and put it in Hangman's mouth, and then the penis druids carried Hangman to the back. It was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. It was something. It was something. So Ryan and Page at All In 2, fuck it, we can carry the story for a year. Let's go for it. Up next, it was Flip Gordon, who won the Battle Royal earlier in the night, accompanied to the ring by Brandy Rose, versus Jay Lethal, accompanied to the ring by Lanny Poffo, for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship. For those of you guys who don't know, Lethal's been doing this gimmick on being the Elite, where whenever somebody just touches him, he transforms into Black Machismo, which is his Randy Savage gimmick. And yeah, one of the guys, well, guys, who talks like this from being elite, fucking hit him backstage, and he turned into Randy Savage, and he had Lanny Poffo with him. And then he ended up picking up Brandy because he thought that she was Elizabeth, and then Brandy fucking hit him, and he went back to fucking Lethal. And I think he might have gone back and forth between Black Machismo and Lethal a couple times. It was a good match to be expected from these two. Lethal ended up hitting Lethal Injection and winning. A good 14-minute match. I think we all knew the title was not changing hands here, but they showed respect after the match. Lethal's pretty good at putting people over. I mean, he's just a great babyface. And yeah, I mean, it was to be expected from these guys. It's really great how Flip went from not being booked the whole time for the show to getting a world title shot. And the fact that Ring of Honor was okay with this might say that Ring of Honor has maybe a good future for him. So that's good for Flip. Good for everybody. I just remembered, by the way, I forgot to mention, after the match was over, Bully Ray came out and jumped both of them. But then Colt Cabana made the save. Cabana ended up making the save, and they all, I think, like, powerbombed him through a table or some shit. And Babyface stood tall. Rip Bully Ray. Up next, and what personally to me was the best match of the night, the IWGP Heavyweight Champion Kenny Omega versus Pentagon Jr. Tonight he was going under Penta El Zoro. This was, again, just an incredible match. Both guys are just on rolls of a lifetime. I don't know if there's two better guys in the world who are just on such roles of having such consecutive, incredible matches than Omega and Pentagon. They're just both balls to the wall crazy right now. There were situations in this match where it looked like Pentagon could legitimately win, and again, it could have made sense to him winning. I still think Pentagon could have won if Omega wasn't the champion, but Omega's the champion. Omega ended up being hitting the one-winged angel. Nobody kicks out of that, and getting the pin. After the match, the lights went out for a long time, like a good 20-30 seconds. Lights were out for a bit, and then they came back on, looked like nothing had happened. Pentagon was still out, and Omega's like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. And the crowd was confused, but then Pentagon got up and started attacking Omega, and I was confused. I'm like, that's a random heel turn. Why is Pentagon just jumped him? Well, my sister started freaking out because I was watching it first. She's like, that's not Pentagon, it's Jericho. Look at his arm. And I looked at his arm, and I'm like, oh, yeah, the tattoos are different. And sure enough, he took off the mask, and it was Chris fucking Jericho. He then got on the mic and told Omega he'd see him on the Jericho Cruise. For those guys who don't know, on Jericho Cruise is going to be the Alpha Club versus the Bullet Club, Jericho and the Young Bucks versus Kenny, Cody, and Marty. And speaking of Marty, we're going to get to his match next. That's right, it is the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada versus Marty the Villain Skull. This match was long as fuck. It was a great match, probably the second best match of the night for me, but this was like 26 minutes. Best match of card, and we'll get to the length of that in a second as well. It ties into the main event. This match, they did an incredible job of making you think that Marty was legitimately going to win. Like, I think we all kind of knew in the back of our minds that there was no way that Marty was going over, but they really made you think that Marty might go over. At the end, though, it ended how it should, Okada hitting the Rainmaker and getting the pin, and I think was there a show respect up match? I don't remember. But Okada's just a superstar. But for anyone who, I remember when they made this match, people were like, oh, you're putting Marty with him? Like, you should be a bigger opponent for Okada. I think anybody who thought that before is eating their shit now. Because, I mean, Marty proved that he can more than hang with Okada. And will Marty eventually make that jump to heavyweight? Who knows? I guess we'll find out. Up next, it was Rey Mysterio, Rey Fenix, and Bandito versus the Golden Elite, Kota Ibushi, and the Young Bucks. Now, about that time thing. This match apparently was supposed to go like 28 minutes. It ended up going 12 minutes because Marty and Okada went over. I don't know how over they went, but if they had to shave that much time, I'm guessing Marty and Okada went a good whiles over. And maybe somebody else went over as well, I don't know. But this match ended up being 12 minutes. It was incredible for what it was. There was a moment where Mysterio and Ibushi both tagged in, and they had a stare down. The crowd lost their minds. Rey did this moonsault on the fucking springboard moonsault, reverse springboard moonsault on the outside on everybody. Rey Mysterio, dude, he's 43 years old. He's been wrestling since he's 18, and he's still doing all this shit. I mean, it's incredible to me. That also might have been Mysterio's last indie match, maybe ever, because he's expected back in the WWE shortly, maybe this month. So, my God, Rey's just crazy. The finish, here's the thing, they literally finished it with like 3 seconds to go. Like, they got the finish, there was a pin, 1, 2, 3, and they celebrated for like good 10 seconds or whatever, and then boom, the pay-per-view cut off, because they had as much time as they had. So they had to cut the match way short. I remember at the beginning, I think Kak brought this up to me, and straight at the beginning, Mysterio music was playing, but they weren't coming out. So Kak made the point that maybe they were back there restructuring the match real quick. So that makes sense to me, because, I mean, if you have to cut a 28-minute match to a 12-minute match, Jesus Christ. But it was still an incredible main event that ended off an incredible show, and my God, it was as successful as it possibly could be. It was everything that we expected to be. You know, it's funny, I don't know if anyone really ever expected this to fail. Like, I don't know if there's really anyone talking like, oh, what if this doesn't go well? I think we all kind of knew it was going to go well. And it did, man. Oh, and also, I saw this being streamed on Twitter. I believe it was New Age Insiders were streaming it. Shout out to them. They did a whole faking the crowd. Everybody was in the ring after the match, and Cody teased All In 2. Didn't confirm anything, but teased it. Said he would love to do more of this. Matt cut a very passionate speech about wanting to do more. And yeah, I think they could definitely do an All In 2. I mean, I'm interested to see what the pay-per-view buys were. I'm really interested. I bought it on pay-per-view. I'm interested to see what the pay-per-view buys for this was, though. Because, I mean, pay-per-views kind of died off a bit. And I do think maybe the mistake they made is $40 is a little bit much, you know, for the pay-per-view. I think $40 is a little bit much. But I don't know. I want to see the buys on this. I really want to see the buy rate. I wonder when it's coming out. But all in all, All In was an all epic. It was a complete success. Absolutely incredible show. I hope they do another one. I bet you they will. Who knows what will happen with All In 2 when it happens. Ooh, it's a little shake there. Sorry. Yeah, that's going to do it for you guys for my review of All In 2. Ooh, actually, let me count. Give me a second. Let me count out and see how many I got right in the predictions. I got 9 out of 10 right. Not counting the Matt Cross and MJF match because that was previously unannounced. The only match I got wrong was the first match, the Briscoes and SoCal Uncensored. I would have been perfect if I'd gotten that right. Damn it. Alright, well, good show, though. Good show. And, yeah, I'm very excited to see what the Young Bucks and Cody might have in the future. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for my review of All In. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, you can be sure to press the like button. If you didn't like it, that's okay. Not everybody's like everybody. Thank you. Press the dislike button if you want to. But if you don't think I'm a complete bastard and want to stick around for where we go in the future on the channel, be sure to press the subscribe button. If you want to see what's going to be posted daily on the channel, you can check the link in the description for the blog on WordPress.com. If you want to check out my Twitch, where I stream every single day, the link that is in the description, as well as links to my Twitter and my Patreon if you want to support me. That being said, God damn it, Bobby, my name is Taffrey16. This has been my review of All In. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.